Hello, everyone. Welcome to One by One, a podcast where we uncover the stories, strategies, and secrets behind extraordinary success. I'm your podcast host, Robert Murigi, and we'll be building each other from the ground up. Join us as we uncover the blueprints of building a life, a career, or a business from the ground up. Subscribe now and never miss an episode from us. And on our today's podcast, we are going to be looking into how much we know about our cars. What are the things that we need to know as drivers that day when you owned that car? What are the things and the most basic things that you need to know so that you don't get your car damaged or you need to be paying a visit to the mechanic each and every day? And therefore, we want to become smart drivers, and this will help us to navigate the world of cars with confidence and knowledge so that we can avoid the occurring problems that we could stop at the doorstep. Whether you are a new driver or someone who has been hiding behind the wheels for years and years, these tips will help you to stay safe and better care for your own car. And therefore, the first thing that we are going to be talking about today is basic car maintenance. What is this thing that we are talking about? Many of us know that car need maintenance, but what does this really mean? Are we talking about oil change? Yes, we are talking about oil change, and this is one of the most crucial tasks, especially when it comes to caring for that engine. Oil lubricates the engine, keeping everything running smoothly. Most vehicles need oil change every 5,000 to 5,000 or to 7,500 kilometers, but always check with the owner's manual for specifications. And the other thing that we need to talk about today is tire care. Okay, next time that you are visiting that petrol station and you want to check your air, let us talk about this and let us talk about tires. Checking your tire pressure monthly and making sure that the tread isn't worn so much. And also when you're there, that is the time when you see that there is uneven wear that you need to pay attention to. Under inflation, when you inflate those tires, this can lead to blowouts, while overinflating can affect the way you handle that vehicle. And how do you know that you are overinflating that tire or you are under deflating? This is a very simple task that you would check. Depending on what you carry on your car and how heavy is your vehicle, there is always a placard next to the driver's door showing how much air you need to fill on those tires. But how is the quickest way, or what is the quickest way of knowing that this is not the best way of inflating my tires? When you check and you see that your tires are worn in the middle and where the treads are, know that you are overinflating the tires. But how do you know that you are under deflating the tires? The treads will be worn on the edges, and this time not in the middle. And even when you have normal tire wear, it's always good to see how much you are left with so that you can start preparing yourself for the next set of tires. And in addition to oil change, which we have already mentioned, there are other things that need to be checked on your vehicle. Washing your windscreen should be prompt to check that your windscreen washer fluid is not there. When you push those wipers and you want to flush the water and you cannot see any water coming through, this is the time for you to check and also make sure that you put the right fluid at the right level. When we talk about the brake fluid, we have seen that most people normally top up brake fluid, which is not the right thing, because this fluid is normally equivalent of how much your brakes are new. When you see your brake fluids are not much on the reservoir, it is time to tell you that you need to check your brake pads, because the brake pads might be worn all the way and it is almost touching the disc. And what happens to your coolant or the cooling system when you have the right amount of coolant there. But what happens to the people who normally top up the coolant with coolant and you start mixing them up? When you mix the coolants up, this could end up damaging your engine because some of the engines, they are not compatible with some type of coolant, and also mixing them. When we talk about mixing, what do we mean? When you have that vehicle and you notice that your brake fluid or your power steering fluid or even your coolant in this case is getting low, it is always good to check underneath the vehicle to see whether you can sight any signs of any coolant leakage. But what happens when you cannot fight this? This could also mean that you have an internal problem with your engine, and this coolant could be going to the engine and also getting exhausted through the exhaust system. Then how do we know that we are doing it right? When we talk about mixing, we are saying that do not buy any coolant and top up to your cooling system for any reason. If your cooling system level is going low, it's always good to visit Motor O'Clock or any other garage so that you see where the problem is. This will help you to save that engine and also not to mix the coolants which may not be compatible with each other. When we talk about the power steering and you cannot sight any fluid which looks like power steering under your vehicle, it's always good to see whether your power steering fluid is due for replacement. Keep them topped off and also ensure that your car performance is all well. And the other thing that we are going to talk about today is the warning lights. And the first thing that we are going to talk about is the engine light, which is the most dreaded light that comes on and something must be wrong with that engine. Please do not ignore it. Make sure you get it checked before you lose that engine. The other thing that we are going to talk about is a oil pressure warning light. Recently, I had a customer and he said that my oil warning light comes on when I start the vehicle, but as I try to drive off, the oil light comes off. But when we checked what happened with this, we found that the previous person who did the servicing to the vehicle did not close the filter all the way in, and therefore the oil pressure was not building up when you start the vehicle. And the other thing that we are going to talk about is the battery or charging alert. If you see that battery sign on your dashboard, this might tell you that your battery is low or it needs to be charged, or there is an issue with the charging system, and this case is your alternator. It is best to have it examined as soon rather than later, so that you may not find yourself in darkness when you drive at night. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is the essential car tools. What are these tools that we all need in our cars when we drive them? Spare tire and the jack. Hope you never had to use them, but the spare tire must be there on your vehicle. Learn how to change it before you need to ask a friend to watch a tutorial to familiarize yourself with this process. And the other thing that we may need to have in the vehicle is jumper cables. Dead batteries can happen to anyone. Keep a set of jumpers in your vehicle and learn how to use them. Remember, positive to positive, negative to negative, and never let the cable touch each other when it is in operation. And which side do we start with? When we are jump starting the vehicle, we connect the positive cable first and we then connect the negative cable, and the reverse is true. And this means that when you are disconnecting them, you start with the negative and also you finish with the positive. The other thing that you must have in your vehicle are the lifesavers. And when you have that event of a breakdown and it is at night and no one can see you, always good to have some extra visibility. Otherwise you'll be hit from the behind by a truck. And therefore, when we talk about the new cars and having different features, we have anti-locking braking system. If you find yourself in a slippery situation, press hard on the brakes. This will prevent you from locking. Just keep your foot pressed down and the system will manage the braking system for you. The other good thing that we have in the modern vehicles is the cruise control. Great for long trips. It allows you to maintain that constant speed without keeping your foot on the accelerator. Just remember that you need to disengage it when you need to do so. And the one more thing that we need to pay attention to, and we have already talked about this on one of our Saturday special, blind spot monitoring. If your car has this feature, it uses a sensor to alert you if the vehicle is on your blind spot. Be sure to still check on your mirror and look over your shoulder to make sure that there is no parallel truck or a vehicle. And therefore, when you know these basic things about your vehicle, this can bring a big difference in your driving experience. Remember that regular maintenance, understanding your warning lights, equipping yourself with the essential tools, and familiarizing yourself with your car features will not only help you to avoid costly repairs, but also make you a driver safe and also enjoy your driving experience. And as we conclude this year, and we know that there is so many good people here who have come a long way with me since I started this podcast. We have all learned from each other, and we wish them all the best for the new year. And as you come and you bring your friends, so that they do not miss all the good things which are happening. And one by one, this is the place where we all happy and all our views are respected. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you and wishing you a happy new year. And may God bless you as you make new resolutions for the year. And whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or simply someone looking for inspiration, One by One will equip you with the tools and insights you need to lay the foundation of your own success stories. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. Your feedback helps us to grow and bring you even more inspiring stories. Thank you for listening to Building from the Ground Up. Remember, every great accomplishment starts with one single step. What will you build today? And until next time, keep building, keep striving, and keep reaching for your dreams.